This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy! Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guests and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello there. Thank you for checking out this episode of I Dig Crazy Flicks presents 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ. I am your host, Cat Bus Russ, and this is the panel that got me to the ATL Comic Convention. This is the 1985 triple threat match, Stallone versus Schwarzenegger versus the Cannon Group, where I was joined by director, producer Mario D'Angelis and dark fantasy author Hollis Joe McCullum to chat up about the movies of that year. And we kind of go all over the place a little bit in terms of action cinema. Mario liked talking about just the fact that he really wished he had a chance to work for the Cannon Group. And Hollis just loved good action movies. I got a little back and forth with her about Chuck Norris as a martial artist, so it was a lot of fun. The audience was good. Basically putting it out there because I've just submitted to a couple more cons, so just there to provide the content for them, show that it works, and I hope that it does for you. So as for the future of the podcast, we still got a few panels to release from ATL Comic Convention. I've had another guest on the show, so we're going to have a movie to chat about. It's all kind of leaning up to, or at least my scheduling's all based around Fan Expo Chicago. I have not gotten word if I'm going to be there. It's not looking likely, so, I'm going to make the best of it with the Poetic Critic, so we'll have some content for that. With all that said, let me just get the formalities out of the way. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers. That's patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlix. Thank you, Tim Bates. He's been on the show a couple of times talking about 1989's Arena and 1988's Night of the Demons. Former AAW backstage interviewer, contributor to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast, The Scoop Staley. These guys give me $3 a month. They get the shout out because of that. They also got waterproof stickers with the I Dig Crazy Flicks logo. And they also have access to the original Podbean lineup for the show. So if you want to see how I developed into the professional podcaster that I am today, give us $3 a month on patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlix. But more importantly, $3 a month gets Ava the Queen Kitty 3 tins of cat food. She is the finest royalty. Why wouldn't you do that? But there's easier ways to be on the show. You can just go and send an email to rusthebus07@gmail.com, RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. Offer me a movie, a theme, a director, an actor. As long as the content is off the wall, I'll be happy to talk about it. If it's something a little more down-to-earth, drama, say some Ethan Hawke movie from the 90s. If it's under 100 minutes, I'll chat to you about it. As always, rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps. 5 stars preferably. Be as honest as you like in the reviews. I'm kind of waiting to see if I'm going to get review bombed by a bunch of left-wing gun nuts from Blue Sky. So I could use the help there. Let's just put it that way. Let me thank Station Marie Harden for looking after me, keeping me out of the wrong kind of trouble, and I hope she's doing the same for everybody else she touched in her life, and I hope she's squeezing the ectoplasm out of the most jellicle of kitties Skimbleshanks the One-Eared Angel. All I have left to do is just plug my social media. That's at catbusruss.bsky.social. That's Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram and Threads at catbusruss. Hopefully you'll enjoy this panel, and hopefully it will impress those higher-ups in certain Midwest cities. Thank you.
Hold on to your butts.
Pardon the interruption, but since this is a panel about action movies, I feel it's appropriate to throw a review in for an action movie. This one isn't from 1985, but I think it's a celebration of violence for the sake of violence. I think that might be what the world of John Wick is, so here are my opinions on Ballerina.
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
I know you. I know your pain.
This isn't done until they're dead.
Buena suerte, señorita.
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
Those people that you're looking for, they're surrounding this hotel right now.
Risen from the ashes, again and again, fire.
You don't choose to be a killer. You are chosen.
No, I chose this!
Consequences.
Risen from the ashes, again and again. Fire. Again and again. Again and again. Fire.
And what, may I ask, is your name?
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
I'm outside of the Savoy 16 in Savoy, Illinois. Just finished watching Ballerina, and I better make this review quick because I'm in my car, windows are up, motor's not running, so AC's not on, and it's 90 degrees out or so. Oh, 84, but I digress. And I had a lot of fun with this movie. I would say it does take a little time to warm up because we are creating an origin story for a character, unlike with John Wick, where we discover the origin after they screw him over, kill the dog, steal the car. Thus, here we see how we established the villains, and we had to go and tell the story of how she became Ana de Armas, Eve, oh man, it kind of sucks that I can't remember what Slavic slang they use to describe her. The Kikamori? That sounds Japanese. Or, Baba Yaga is a witch, not the boogeyman. So I digress once again. So once you get past that, you get warmed up. Like, we could have probably if you didn't have to establish that Eve is going to go up against a cult of assassins who have built their own little town to raise future assassins, but be all friendly, family friendly in a sense, have them study marksmanship while, their 3 R's is kind of cute. And the entire story comes from the fact that Eve's father was murdered by this cult led by Gabriel Byrne. She's found by Winston, the manager of the New York Continental, who offers her a chance to join a new family, the Belarusians from John Wick Chapter 3 that raised John Wick. And thus she becomes an assassin, and on an assignment, she finds the mark of this cult and decides she's going to destroy it, regardless of what leader of the Belarusians, Angelica Houston, tells her to do. And she's willing to she's so desperate to stop a war with a cult that will not play by the rules that she's willing to send John Wick to solve this issue as well. We do have the opportunity for a sequel, and I would look forward to that. The action sequences end up being great, but At the Savoy 16, I think they have issues with their projectors because it was very dark. And I know it's a Len Weissman movie, but with reshoots that delayed this film for at least a year, I'm sure they could have fixed the color saturations and such. This shouldn't have had moments of looking like Alien vs. Predator Requiem. So, aside from that, though, I think the characters are pretty well developed. Norman Reedus is good in it as well. Lance Reddick's last movie, and I think if anything, well, as I say, you could have just gone right into the action, but, you know, it's under 2 hours when you don't include the credits, and there's no post-credit sequence, so it almost makes me want to watch it again just to see if I could fit the 90 for chill parameters, but hey, I did Crazy Flicks now, so I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of the series. I think this is going to fall into, well, did we really need more lore? Do we need to expand this universe? And I think my friend Noel Thingall would say yes. The poetic critic would probably say no. But it's great that we're just keeping this IP going. These movies shouldn't be too expensive. I mean, we all know the effort they made to make John Wick 1 look great on a shoestring budget. So I would love to see more of this. I don't know how we're going to keep bringing John Wick back. Not to spoil number 4, but I am game for this universe, and you know, I got my dad's Peacock subscription, so I might as well start watching The Continental. So Ballerina did everything I wanted it to do.
They sent him on a mission.
Under no circumstances are you to engage the enemy.
They set him up to fail.
You're the one who's making the mistake.
What mistake?
Rambo.
I'm coming to get you.
Stallone is back as Rambo. First Blood, Part 2. Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
All right, welcome to 1985 triple threat match: Stallone versus Schwarzenegger versus the Cannon Group. I think this is the last great year of violence for the sake of violence on the mainstream, I should say. I mean, there's always going to be low budget. Let's go and just get nuts with the guts. But here you have features that destroy their previous feature, the feature in the franchise. I think you could say that for a bunch of the movies. And you got Schwarzenegger's finally breaking out on his own, being an actor, not just a machine, dare I say.
That's right.
And, Stallone being Stallone. So I'm Cat Bus Russ Stevens. I do a podcast called I Dig Crazy Flicks, where I just like to talk about off-the-wall cinema and the sheer fact that nobody knows how Claymore works in movies makes it kind of off the wall. So always looking for guests. IDigCrazyFlix.com. You can find the podcast on all major networks. So, and take it away.
You want to go?
Oh, sure. Hi, sure. My name is Hollister McCullum. I am a dark fantasy and historical dark fantasy author. I've published 5 books so far. I write 2 different fantasy series, and I've won 4 national awards. And yeah, I'm at G12 in the vendor hall, so come see me. And I also collaborate with my wonderful friend and collaboration partner, Teddy Bear Body, who makes these amazing body butters, and we made sense based on my characters. So come if you would like to moisturize, we have free samples.
Hi, I'm Mario DeAngelis, producer-director. I feel like I missed my chance to work for Canon because they don't exist anymore, and they made hundreds of movies in the span of 10 years, and most of them are bad. So we are here to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. They have some really good stuff and some really bad stuff.
Very bad stuff.
It's it's stuff that would never be made today, like Invasion USA, starring Chuck Norris.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I've got that trailer. Maybe we'll play it later, but I love bad movies, but there's nothing like a good bad movie, of course, to rewatch because so many are just unwatchable.
Well, I go to an annual, I'm based out of Illinois. I go to an annual convention it's a 24-hour movie marathon up in Northwestern University called B-Fest. And whenever we get to see a Vinegar Syndrome or a Canon logo, the crowd goes wild. And Canon is pretty much just trying, at this point, this is pretty much their last gas. They blow a lot of money on a movie I love, and I don't think it's that bad. Tobe Hooper's Life Force.
I dig Life Force, and if you haven't seen it, it's very R. Life Force. Sick.
Well, you get a makeout scene between Steve Railsback and Patrick Stewart.
That's right.
I haven't seen it either, but I'm sold now.
Okay, here's another selling point, which they couldn't believe that they got this. 50% of the time, one of the most beautiful women on the planet at the time,
Matilda May,
was naked most of the time because she's a space vampire. So try and sell that to the executives. Okay, but Canon didn't care.
Yeah.
They actually didn't even read scripts. They just greenlit off of concepts. I'm not kidding.
Well, no, they would go to Cannes and have somebody drop a movie poster and not even have a movie made. They would set this looks like an interesting sword and sandals flick. We'll give you money to make it.
And this panel is about Canon, but it's also about Schwarzenegger and Stallone. But I've got to say right out of the gate that Canon destroyed Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Because Superman's budget was stolen by Canon because they were trying to make a Spider-Man movie. This is all documented.
Yeah.
There's 10 documentaries about Canon.
The most famous is Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah.
They did make breakdancing movies. They made a lot of great ninja movies. Yes, American Ninja in 1985.
Yeah.
So that was probably their best movie, I would say, of this year. Life Force is their best. But.
American Ninja 4, The Domination.
Isn't that Ninja 3, The Domination?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, that was Orion who produced that.
But the reason why I like the name of the panel is that Stallone and Schwarzenegger's rivalry started around this Canon situation because they kept through the trades. They would fight and they would try and one up each other.
The big story about it is Schwarzenegger tricked Stallone into doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh.
Absolutely. He said, I'm interested in this feature, a good comedy. And his agent got to Stallone's agent, and I don't know, Arnie's going to sign on that one. You better beat him to it.
Yeah. And then, Stallone Stallone was in several Canon films, but Over the Top was a Stallone film that if you haven't seen it, I'm not sure whether to suggest it or not. What do you guys think of?
All right, that's 1987, directed by one of the Canon Group main members, I think Menachem Golem. It's a movie about arm wrestling and child custody.
I honestly, if you like that kind of stuff, I would say definitely. I like that kind of stuff. I do sometimes have to be in the mood to watch it, but I would get, if you like Stallone flicks and you like things that get super ridiculous, then yes.
And it's a ridiculous concept. It's a ridiculous movie, but it's not. It's if you look at it from the father-son drama thing, it's not a bad picture. But then it just goes off the rails in the third act.
Right, driving semi-trucks into the grandfather's.
Other than that, it's perfectly realistic.
Well, no, I still don't get the ending. I don't want to spoil it. But this arm wrestling tournament's supposed to be double elimination.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw it.
Yeah, so Yeah.
Yeah, that's just.
I was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so every Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that was on, I was watching because my mom loved action movies too.
Oh, nice.
Now, yeah, a Stallone canon movie I thoroughly recommend and love, which was originally supposed to be what Beverly Hills Cop was, is Cobra.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I was going to mention Cobra.
Yep.
Yes.
I was going to mention Cobra. That's
So-
like one of the best.
Yeah. Famously, that's absolutely right. Famously, Beverly Hills Cop was pitched to Stallone. Stallone was like, "Nah, I think I'm good," because he wanted to be more violent.
Yes.
And not the comedy. And then thank God they abandoned that concept and went with Eddie Murphy, because Beverly Hills Cop's a masterpiece. And then you can't see Stallone as Axel Foley, which they changed the name anyway. He went off and did Cobra. Cobra is super dark, and people do not remember how it didn't have a sequel for a reason.
Well, I mean, it's that introduced me to Brian Thompson, who's been in a lot of. He's always a heavy in a lot of movies. It probably all went downhill when he was Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I always like seeing his face. He's in a bunch of Van Damme movies. So Cannon gave Van Damme his start pretty much with Bloodsport. He did a few movies before then, not a lot of speaking roles.
Right.
Like he was supposed to, I think everybody knows Van Damme was the original Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario, why didn't you work for them? What the heck, man?
I was 15. I should have probably
You
been I should have gotten in on
as a
it.
PA or something.
I should
Come
have.
on.
Yeah, that's.
My career is sorted because I started too late. That's all right.
Well, I'm a podcaster at 45. So.
Well, there you go. But do you want to hear from our audience, our huge audience?
Hey, it's more than I usually draw. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't come prepared with anything. I was hoping.
All right.
I didn't either. I watched some action flicks. Yeah, that was it. That's what I did.
I love Van Damme. I love Stallone, Rambo. I've seen all of them.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Well, then I guess it's a. I guess who would you take in this fight? So Cannon's got Michael Dudikoff. Right. That's what. Cannon has Michael Dudikoff, the American Ninja, Matt Hunter from Invasion USA, and Charles Bronson in Death Wish 3 from this year. Stallone has two of the top box office movies of the year, Rocky IV and Rambo: First Blood Part 2, and Schwarzenegger has Commando. So that's what camp are we in?
It's tough.
It is tough.
What about you, sir?
I guess it's trying to come to a particular movie. I'm on the Cobra side for Stallone.
Yeah, but
so.
This is 1985, so Cobra's at 86.
Okay, 1985.
Yeah, so
Commando will win. Schwarzenegger will win.
Oh.
Okay.
I think Schwarzenegger is the best actor in these. Like, you can write a good Stallone. You can write a good Stallone character, but if you don't nail it, Stallone's not going to do anything for you. If you look through the rest of his career, Oscar. Well, no, I know he's miscast in that. Judge Dredd, like. Yeah. You could Schwarzenegger.
Comment that I didn't get to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't hear your comment from before.
Well, there you go.
So.
That's fair.
So you have a lot of homework assignments.
Yeah.
I honestly was thinking Stallone. I was going
Stallone.
But you know why? It was Rocky IV because of Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, yeah. And Cannon Group nearly killed his career with Masters of the Universe.
That's true.
That's right.
Yes.
1987. That was Superman: The Quest for Peace.
Yep.
And Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Masters of the Universe took money from Superman 4. I apologize.
Well, I mean, it was all they took money from
Yeah,
Spider-Man was the end goal.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, well,
Oh, Masters of the Universe. I need to give it a rewatch.
I'm waiting for the remake.
it's in
Frank
production.
Langella. I mean, the B actors in Frank Langella, Meg Foster as Evelyn.
Frank Langella has been very vocal about. He actually said he had a good time, and then he was chewing the scenery the whole time. So who cares? But
Dolph Lundgren.
well, Dolph Lundgren is in Rocky IV.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he was. And
Bringing
he's
it back.
a genius. He's got like a PhD in physics or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love his personal
He's not a
stories.
dummy.
He's a smart man, but he's also a huge muscle-bound man who doesn't mind throwing himself off of buildings.
Oh, when you look at Grace Jones, which was his first major celebrity relationship, he's also in A View to a Kill, 1985, in a brief bit. Grace Jones body slams a KGB agent, and he's picking up the pieces.
Oh, okay.
View to a Kill.
She's an amazing action star, honestly. I don't think that she got the full credit.
Conan the Destroyer.
Of course. Well, and did you? Okay, and I don't remember the name of it, but she was in the Bad Vampire flick. And
Vamp.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Very creative title.
Very creative title.
Yeah, that goes. You should watch that.
It was ridiculous.
It's pretty bad.
She is the head vampire.
Of course. Yeah, Grace Jones had a movie career for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A real funny thing I just wanted to say, which is kind of a current thing, is it's about to be on Fathom Events. They're releasing Rocky for the director's cut.
Skip.
No, I've seen it.
I've seen it too, and
you don't like it? Okay, that's a fight.
I'd like to see it.
I thought it was better.
It lost all the charm. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It made Rocky doesn't seem human. He seems like a machine. To take out another machine. Yeah, and you can tell the cuts they make from the original. Like, why are you making cuts during living in America? Like,
yeah. Fair enough.
And Polly doesn't have his robot. You don't have the kid in it, really. Like, it's about his son's not I guess it could be a good movie if it wasn't a good movie to begin with.
Fair enough. Rocky IV was a product of its time.
Yes.
Because of all the Cold War stuff. And that's what's interesting about movies, especially from 85 or the 80s in general, is you go back and watch some of these movies, you have no clue how they either got greenlit in the first place, if the script was read, or if they'd be made today. And I'm telling you right now, 16 Candles wouldn't have been made.
Well, and I'm thinking
so
about
there's a bunch of these canon movies that would never have been made today.
Think about the MacGyver television series. Like the first several seasons were all basically focused on the Cold War situation. You had some diversions, and I love that show. But like MacGyver, I don't know if it would have been a thing if we didn't have the conflict to draw.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because James Bond movies never really, like, the Cold War was present, but they always made it so the Russians, British, and the Americans were fighting the same enemy. Like,
that's a good point.
It's Christopher Walken is Zorn in View to a Kill. Octopussy, it's all about just trying to get the spy technology away. As I say, View to Kill was 85. That was like almost I love my first James Bond movie. My mom loved Timothy Dalton.
There you go.
So, and my dad doesn't like to go see violent movies. So, I'm going to drag Russ to it. It was PG at the time. So,
that's
right. Before PG-13 was a rating.
That's right.
Well, no.
No,
wait.
it had happened.
Yeah, it happened in 84.
84.
Yes, so originally PG-13 was just Red Dawn. There was the first movie rated, which is a weird decision because back when they created it was basically because kids were getting the crap scared out of them from Gremlins and Temple of Doom, the ripping that's too intense for children. That's why we can't show it. And this is probably the downfall of action or violence for the sake of violence movies, is because they were all rated R back in the 80s. Like, kids shouldn't see this. And then in 89 you have Batman, and it's like a comic, no, it's a comic book character. My mom, I was 9 at the time. She always followed the rules of the MPAA, and I fault her for that. And it was, she said, "No, I'm going to see Batman." And it's like, "Mom, it's PG-13." Well, yeah, but you've watched the Adam West show. It's not going to be that.
Like that.
She loved Batman, hated Batman Returns because that really got dark. But the fact of the matter is, we know kids are going to see this. So that's why PG-13 action started. And that's why it's so, I dare say, sanitized now. Like, a good R, it wasn't until, I'd say, Saving Private Ryan where it was about the realism, did R-rated action really start picking up again.
Yeah. Back to action and graphic and all of that. The kill count on Commando was the highest at the time. If I remember correctly, over 140 bad guys. I don't remember. There's these YouTubers who spend all their time, and I'm not faulting them. I'm saying I should have thought of this myself. Their only YouTube show is kill counts on movies.
Oh,
so that's the show.
Yeah.
It's like kill counts, and they show the scene, and then ding, 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 ding. And Commando is way high up in the third act. It's like 100 people die.
Right. And of course a lot of them get cool deaths, just your extras, but then
and stick around.
Well, that's Predator actually. Stick around, where he throws a machete.
My bad.
Sorry. I would say Commando, if you had a good character actor, I am all about David Patrick Kelly.
Okay.
He plays T-Bird in The Crow. He's the cleaner in John Wick, the guy who comes in. He does all right in. He was. I can't remember his name, but he's got the Funko Pop. But Warriors, come out and play.
Oh yeah.
And he's Sully, and he gets the line, "Hey, take your time. We can get to know your daughter a little better. I like you, Sully. You're a funny guy. That's why I'll kill you last." And then Billy Duke.
Yeah.
I eat Green Berets for breakfast.
Yeah. It's rewatch Commando. It's from a different time, and just what they could get away with.
And
the reason I can't think of, because I haven't seen it in years.
any movie that played.
I remember scenes from it. I remember him holding the guy off the cliff.
Yeah, Sully.
Yeah. I lied.
Yeah, you said you'd kill me last. You said you'd kill me last. I lied. Yeah, man, that's good stuff.
Dan Hedaya as the bad guy, as the doing a. No, that's Vernon Wells. The guy who's behind everything is Dan Hedaya, the father from Clueless. Is
So he had a guy
Vernon Wells, and that's a funny story just because they wanted him because he was the craziest of the bikers in Mad Max.
Absolutely.
Mad Max 2. And it's been talked about on podcasts like the Rewatchables. It's like, he's not in that shape, hence why they put a shirt on him, and then they put the vest on him. I don't know, I know he's coming to a con close to me for a couple of days. I don't know if I have the nerve to ask him what was going on, but he's been in a lot of great movies, or fun movies, I should say. Stuart Gordon's Fortress with Christopher Lambert.
Oh, I love Fortress. We could go on about that. There's some great action movies from the 80s and 90s that no one remembers.
Well, Stuart Gordon, you're going to get graphic violence.
Yeah.
Period. Reanimator, From Beyond. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Not so much, but... graphic violence is there's different degrees, and there's
There's stuff they'll let go, and the MPAA. I'm not going to go into this huge thing about them, like how weird it is that Schindler's List is R because of historical nudity and pretty much nothing else.
Right.
Saving Private Ryan is violent, but it's not any more violent than Commando, and it's the same rating system. And I mean, it's just
you want a big discrepancy, and it's a brilliant film, The Last Emperor.
Oh,
they call breastfeeding a 10-year-old historic nudity. I don't think we actually needed to see that. I think it was probably, but I think it was probably making the Chinese look bad. You know, they're communist.
Yeah.
So. Context needs to play more of a role in the rating system.
Yeah, well, it's about. I kind of call it things like there's decapitations and cutting limbs off, but then there's spurting blood. You know, when they get into this blood stuff, Quentin's first cut of Kill Bill was X.
Yeah.
Quentin's first cut of Kill Bill was rated X. So the only way he could get his movie to an R was to go black and white for this huge action sequence, because there was just gallons of spurting blood from these extras. These 88 bad guys and she takes them all out. And she kills them all and hacks off their limbs, and this girl's writhing around with no arms, and she's spurting blood, but it's black and white, so it was okay.
Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. That's why there's all different colors of blood, because they knew they were and I think it's still got an X, but they knew that if we use the red stuff, we are definitely getting an X.
Yeah.
So
and in my mind, that's just like context really needs to play a role, because you have the movies that it's you know, maybe dark comical, but it's comical how much blood is coming out of someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meant to be, you know, but because there's so much red, they get a worse rating. But then you have the movies that are, again, Schindler's List is a great example. It's like, that's an extraordinarily heavy film, contextually and all these other things. And yes, you might not see a lot of the physical violence, but you know about the gas chambers, you know these people, you know all the horrible things. It's the Holocaust, and that's not even. And I'm just like, that hits a lot harder.
It's a good point, but they're. It's a cliche thing to say. The MPAA seems to be colorblind, so to speak. It's like, if there's a sex scene, the movies definitely are.
Yeah.
But if there's 100 people dying in Commando, I mean, it still are, but it's the same level for some reason.
It was South Park, bigger, longer, and cut. That said it.
Oh, I remember.
It's all right to have gruesome violence, as long as nobody uses any dirty words.
Yeah.
That's right. And back to not necessarily canon, but back to the year 1984, Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got this hundreds of gallons of blood coming out of a bed, which of course they flipped it, by the way. They flipped the camera, or the set was flipped.
I think it was the set.
I think the set was flipped, so they would be just driving hundreds of gallons of blood out of this bed where Johnny Depp dies. Spoiler alert. And
that's a selling point in my opinion, but that's a politics.
Yeah, there's not enough blood in the human body. It's just ridiculous. So
Well, I think the issue with comical blood is the fact that if you're having a laugh at it, that's kind of being desensitized. That's the theory. Like,
it's dark humor, and that's why I'm saying context is so important.
Context is important.
Context is so important.
There are definitely just themes in movies that kids shouldn't see, and there's movies where I think kids should see them. Like, if your kid's going into high school, show them The Breakfast Club.
Agreed.
Another great one is Brick by Ryan Johnson, his debut feature.
Oh, that's a great film.
Yeah, so I did a panel on that earlier. It'll be up on I Dig Crazy Flicks in a few weeks.
Plug. And you said Brick, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Rick is great.
I was 10 watching this movie, so.
Well, Brick is 2005. We were doing a 20th.
Yeah, it's some of these films. There's so many. We could go on for days on secret films that are fantastic. No one saw them, didn't make money, but they're well done. And but they bury anything that Canon was putting out. They were making these movies in weeks, if not months, and they were just pumping them out, taking money from other budgets just to make other films.
So
they went too far ahead is why they destroyed themselves. They cannibalized themselves.
Right. Warner Brothers distributed, and they have the rights anyhow to Superman.
Yeah.
So they were the distributors, and that's why Canon got so much money that they could steal. It wasn't just, and they had a good relationship with Warner Brothers. They did Cobra, Over the Top.
Yeah.
I think, like when Canon went under, the library was split between MGM, who needed a library after they sold all of theirs to Turner, and
That's right.
Warner Brothers. So if you still have cable, anyone?
Nope.
Bueller. If you still have cable, there's a set of channels called Screen Picks, which is primarily MGM movies.
Oh.
And they you can see, like, there was this weird one, 87 I think it was, where it's Bubba Smith's the lead. Bubba Smith, Hightower Police Academy. And he's facing off against, I think it's Lloyd Bridges is the villain. His partner is Smith's partner is Beau Bridges. I'm gonna look.
So you should look it up. It's
I'm looking for it.
He's looking it up. It sounds like it's not, but it sounds something like this off the wall, gonna make someone the lead that shouldn't be the lead, like DC Cab. That was their attempt to give Mr. T top billing. DC Cab. It's not what he's done. He's looking for it, but. DC Cab's, I think, another Canon film. They just were making, the upside to Canon was that they knew how to keep making movies. The problem is, as we said, they didn't care what the movie was about. They just cared about three things. Who's in it? The poster, which was important back then because of video stores. You remember video stores? That's what was important to them. They didn't care about the script and how much money it was going to make. That's the three things Canon cared about.
So that Bubba Smith movie with Beau Bridges and Lloyd Bridges is called The Wild Pair.
Wild Pair.
Yeah, and
I haven't seen it.
It's on Tubi. There you go.
Yeah.
It's Bubba Smith and Beau Bridges versus white supremacists, led by Lloyd Bridges.
I mean, there's a concept.
Yep.
So I was going to throw this out there. After we decided who won the battle between what you wanted.
Who won? I don't know.
Yeah, so
I think so.
Canon had American Ninja, which Ninja 3 the dominant, like the Sho Kosugi Ninja trilogy. Was Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja.
This is why I didn't know the answer because we went down a few rabbit holes. So who won?
I think. I mean. It's as I say, I gave my argument. Schwarzenegger's the best actor amongst them. We're talking Charles Bronson, not in his heyday. This is not Once Upon a Time in the West.
Right.
Chuck Norris, who I think is one of the most awful actors.
He's an amazing martial artist, though.
Is he? Like in Invasion USA, he saves his martial arts for one sequence.
As a fellow second-degree black belt martial, well, not
well,
fellow,
no. I know. Okay, he's a I'm sorry. He is a great martial artist.
Yes.
I think, but when it comes to his martial arts, and granted, he was in his 50s in the 80s.
Yes.
But you look at his.
I'm not saying he's a good actor, but he has his speed. People love to see him, and that's the charm of Chuck Norris.
But he only gives you the martial arts in one scene, and it's pretty brief most of the time. It's really brief in Invasion USA.
Yeah.
Delta Force, it looks cool, but he's like making up for the fact that Bruce Lee pretty much gave him very little to work with. And it was a very much like, I think he may have got a couple punches in, and I think Chuck Norris is never going to let that happen to him again. So he's kind of worse than Vin and The Rock in a sense.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. So, and then Delta Force, he just has a scene, his martial arts scene. He just kicks the crap out of Robert Forster, and totally one-sided. It's like that's why I love Brandon Lee movies, and I'm doing the Crow panel next, room 106, 1 p.m. That's why I love Brandon Lee, because he is so much of a give and take guy, and he was a fight choreographer on most of his movies too.
Yeah,
for a young actor at that time, that was amazing stuff.
Amazing. He would have gone on to do so many great things.
Yeah,
Brandon Lee is he was someone that's missed.
Yes. So there you go. Cannon, their lineup, Stallone. It's really tough. Like, the biggest problem with Rambo Rambo First Blood Part 2, is the fact that we totally destroy what the original Rambo was about. The First Blood was about.
Sure.
It's true. Well,
that's debatable, depending on perspective.
Well, First Blood. First Blood is about a guy forced to violence, PTSD. Rambo Part 2 is solely about Stallone's. If Rocky's not going to win the Cold War, Rambo's going to do it. And we go, and like, wouldn't it have made more sense if the Chinese were the ones back in the Vietnam, the communism? Like, there's so many. But
see, that's just a matter of perspective.
Yes, but I'm just saying,
the director went a different way.
I will say this about the Rambo series is, First Blood, excellent movie. Do I own it in my collection? Do I own Rambo First Blood Part 2 through Last Blood? And Last Blood's not that good, but it delivers at least on the end. Yes, because I want that violence. And back when, it wasn't until 2006 that, when we got Rambo 4, it was like, oh yeah, we're just going to celebrate this ridiculousness.
Absolutely.
So,
but Rambo First Blood Part 2 has Martin Coe.
Yes.
Who I've actually worked with. I'm about to go see him after this panel, and I've directed him.
Oh.
And he's cool. He's cool, and he's bad. He's kind of bad because of Cobra Kai.
VFW is a film you should watch. It's got all your.
Oh yeah, VFW.
You got it's not Scott Glenn.
It's like everyone's in it.
But you got Martin Coe, David Patrick Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Fred Williamson.
I think I own VFW. Yeah. That's a deep cut. He's bringing up some deep cuts.
Right. Well, it's only about 5-6 years old now.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's basically Expendables at a VFW hall. So these guys are definitely old.
It's no matter where you lean with the battle. Cannon did one thing well. They didn't try to do this, but they created careers. Yeah. And they created rivalries that lasted unintentionally. And one thing I wanted to say about the rivalry, which is a lot of people forget, one of the best / worst action movies is a team up of you can't believe this movie was made, Tango and Cash.
Oh,
all right, Tango and Cash. Let's pitch this here.
It was originally
you got.
Well,
Stallone,
it was supposed to be Stallone and
Schwarzenegger.
No, it was supposed to be Patrick Swayze. And he turned it down to do Roadhouse, which is just the ultimate tacky action movie. Love Roadhouse.
Roadhouse is the pinnacle of ridiculous, except Tango and Cash.
Yes.
You got Stallone and
Kurt Russell
as rival cops, and they are going to get brought down by the best villain chewing the scenery, Jack Palance,
accompanied by James Hong
and James Hong and this other guy. They are it's so bad, it's good type of situation.
Oh, I can't.
But there was a line in the first 2 minutes. You got your first action sequence, so to speak, and we present Stallone's character.
What are you, Rambo?
Rambo's. I'm not even sure I can say it. Rambo's a P word, and it's just great. It's still they made up They made up Schwarzenegger, Stallone. It took them 30 years to make up because Stallone called him when he started his next franchise, which is ridiculous, but they leaned into it. The Expendables should not exist, and it shouldn't have 4 movies. But god damn, if they're not just, they've got the budgets, they got all these action stars together, and Stallone and Schwarzenegger are finally together. Again? No, finally together in movies. It's Expendables, ridiculous.
And it's fun that they play the rivalry up in that.
And they play the rivalry up in it.
I personally, I still want to see Stallone and Schwarzenegger head to head.
Yeah.
That's what we haven't got. Another great actor in Tango and Cash, rest in peace, Brian James.
Brian James is a really bad accent, a British accent. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
but it's all horrible.
You probably know him best as the main general next to President of the Earth, Tiny Lister in The Fifth Element.
Oh my gosh, that is just brilliant casting.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't. Triple threat matches. I'm a underemployed professional wrestler. Sorry, I flew in, so I don't have my tights with me.
Okay.
Always have it in the truck of my car. I'm ready to go.
I know it's just me, but like it would be helpful if y'all had it on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to wrap her up when you just watch trailers. In a triple threat match, it's always a bad finish. Because typically, in a triple threat match, it's a title match, and the champion does not have to lose the fall.
Right.
So everybody looks good coming out of a triple threat match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's really pick your loser, in all honesty. And I think Cannon gets it by default.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the numbers.
They're taking the fall.
Numbers win in the end in most cases.
So.
And another thing that Cannon was, I think, successful at, but it was a bad execution, is the 80s was one of the only decades for film where quantity rivaled quality. And I wish it wasn't the case. I go back and watch movies, I still rewatch from the 80s and the 90s, and something different happened in the 90s. But the 80s was this dumping ground. And if you go back and you say, how in the world did that get made? How is that considered good acting? Actors go back and watch their work from the 80s, and they're like, it's unwatchable. Some of it is.
That's why we love it.
But we love it so much. And we grew up with these films, and then like I said, you go back and you cringe at some of the stuff in 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club and Weird Science, and you're like, wow, that was acceptable back then. The F word, the other F word.
Oh, even Bill and like that. So I did a podcast about the Bill and Ted trilogy, and it's like, okay, so let's just address it. So this is like, rarely do I go and do explicit podcasts language-wise. I'll usually go and edit it. I do play by the PG-13 rule, so if somebody drops a F-bomb, we're keeping it in.
That's okay.
This Italian girl's been good at editing so far.
But it was basically like, I can't censor this one because the F word we don't want to use.
Yeah.
If we want to call that the F word, so we're gonna say the regular F-bomb a lot. And you don't want to get me on too many podcasts because I got a very potty.
I got a potty mouth too, but
In the 80s, did we really watch movies for acting, or did we watch them for action? Like the action was more important, right?
Well,
yes, it was. The acting. Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah, these aren't dramas we're talking about from the 80s.
But one of the other
explosions and all that. You went for the drama of the fun.
One of the other things that we forget is that in the 70s with Jaws and Star Wars, you got the birth of the event movie. So everybody was trying for that.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, we got the next big thing. Even Cannon thought they were going to make a Spider-Man movie. Even James Cameron wrote a off-the-wall, batshit insane script of Spider-Man. And it was crazy. And they were like, we can't make this. Even the standards back then, they couldn't make Spider-Man.
Right. You couldn't.
I mean, he could. But...
Well, yeah, but let's talk. I don't want to get into Roger Corman and Fantastic Four.
Okay, yeah, I know all that cast. I met all of them and worked with all 4 of those actors who thought I wish we had time to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother panel. Actors in a movie they didn't know wasn't going to be released, and they swear that it was going to be released, but the executives are lying.
Yeah,
because it was the actors found out the truth, and there's an entire documentary about that.
Right. So technically, you can see it, but technically, it's never been released.
It's technically never been released, but for 20 years, the only way you could see it was running around like me, Comic-Cons, looking for bootleg versions, which they did sell. And it's really bad quality. Now the quality's better on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And he's right, you can see it.
Yeah.
But I'd take the Roger Corman Fantastic Four over this Fant Four Stick nonsense from 2016.
Oh, no, yeah.
That mess.
Jeff Trank? Or?
Josh Trank, who shot himself in the foot, by the way, second movie. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right, that's
he decided to use the internet as a sounding board to go after Fox.
Yeah.
Who does that and think their career is going to survive?
Well, I mean, that goes back to a fun action movie, definitely not PC, but it was prime when I was just getting out of high school, going to college, The Boondock Saints.
I love The Boondock Saints.
We all love it, but that is one that, how did they, but that director first sold to the Miramax, and that is a big deal if you could sell it to Miramax in '99.
Yes.
But he kept on saying, no, I'm going to do it my way. And look, you know what Harvey Weinstein did to women. Imagine what he could do to somebody he doesn't like.
Yeah, that's a another deep dive.
Yeah.
But this is fun. I would play a trailer, but I don't think my sound is not hooked up. So that's that.
Okay. Problem. Yeah. So, and we got 5 minutes. If anybody wants to suggest an action movie we haven't spoken about.
I do have a question. For Commando, was there ever talk of a sequel or anything like that?
It's hinted at the end. Until the next time.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like a lot of movies that teased sequels that never came.
But if you want,
studios were hopeful.
Yes. Right. It's just an issue of getting Schwarzenegger to sign on the dotted line. But if you want another great movie from that director, and it has Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren, it's Showdown in Little Tokyo.
That's a good one.
You got Cary Hiroki Tagawa as the villain.
Yeah.
But the best thing is the Japanese guy is Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Not Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee's the kid from the Valley.
Yeah, and there was no outrage in the 80s when there were gender swaps, race swaps. No one cared.
Nobody appropriated.
That's from the same director of Commando.
Yeah.
Mark L. Lester.
I would like a list of your favorite canon movie or a list of the canon movies you think I should watch.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna throw a few out there. Ninja 3: The Domination. That's got a fun story about Sho Kosugi being pissed off that he wasn't the star, and it's his trilogy. American Ninja. I could say I think the entire franchise personally.
Yeah.
I would go with Life Force, definitely. That's my favorite canon. Cobra, and finish off of top 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
All right. This is a deep, deep cut. I only found it from a collection of canon trailers, which I was going to show you, but we ran out of time. This is a real movie. Robert Carradine from Revenge of the Nerds and Billy D. Williams are buddy cop comedy. Number one with a bullet.
Yes.
Number one with a bullet.
That one was fun. Yeah.
Ridiculous. And Robert Carradine, you just can't take him serious after Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Street Smart.
Yeah.
Starring Christopher Reeve and Morgan Freeman. You'll like Street Smart. It's crazy.
Those are some
And another one I don't really suggest, but there are a bunch of, I can't believe these exist. Cannon did a bunch of fairy tale movies.
Yeah.
He knows about them. And there was 1 year they all came out.
Yeah.
And it's like Rumpelstiltskin, Snow White, they're crazily bad. They're obviously shot on a set. And there's a bunch of them. And then there's another weird movie that's really bad. I don't necessarily suggest it. I guess I could suggest you stay away from it, called Down Twisted. It's a crazy trailer. Just watch the trailer how bad it is.
And I just now thought of it. Firewalker. Chuck Norris. Firewalker. Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr.
Louis Gossett Jr. is so underrated.
Oh, he should have been the star of the movie because he can act. He's an Oscar winner.
He is.
But do you get John Rhys Davies?
John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies in there too.
Was Police Academy canon?
No, that's Warner Brothers.
That's Warner, yeah.
But wow, that's a whole nother nightmare. What's on your list?
Well, and
of canon?
I'm just going to give one because you guys said some really good. Actually, and there's one. Okay, I'm going to give two, I guess, but one you'll help me with the title because I can't remember it. But and it's probably not canon. But I'm going to say Vamp again with Grace Jones.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Vamp.
VAMP.
It's ridiculous. Mystery Science Theater 3000 did it.
Oh yeah,
they did a great
that's a great
job.
episode.
That's a really good episode. But it is such a ridiculous movie to watch.
Yeah.
And it's so weird and it's crazy. I would recommend see it. It's a fun, weird time. And then honestly, so Bruce Willis, it's like Hawk something.
Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk.
I've got a story.
Hudson Hawk.
I've got a story about Hudson Hawk and Biodome. I was trying to get with a girl. Those were her two favorite movies. I watched them. She knows I'm a film critic, and I am very disappointed about the result on that, the return on that.
It's just Hudson Hawk is this anomalous.
It's not like I'd love to remake it. Personally.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the remake.
It's like, can we stop remaking things that
Yeah.
are already well done?
Well,
Can
you
we just
can
watch the ones that we have.
I can't remember.
Well, I say if it's a bad movie, let's take another go at it.
Yeah, Hudson Hawk is actually brilliant and directed by the man who gave us Heathers. And Michael Lehman almost ruined his career. He turned to TV, but he almost lost his career. Bruce didn't affect him. But Hudson Hawk was supposed to be this big summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And no one got it.
But it's awesome.
But they didn't know it was a parody.
Yeah, but they did.
That's the thing about Hudson Hawk.
They did also get an R rating on that, and that right after Batman, a
that's
summer
right.
blockbuster is not going to do it with a.
But it's,
You're right.
if you haven't seen it, it is so worth the watch.
Yes,
That's
Sandra Bernhardt.
Alan Cumming.
Oh.
No, I
No.
think it's Richard.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's in Richard.
Not Harris. That's a.
I can't remember his name. but
he played classic Loki in the Loki
there
series.
you go. But he's fantastic. They're all chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
They're all, and that's a great What did they mean when people say chewing the scenery? Well, that's what they mean.
Early
Go watch Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
This is I think the first big role. She was in Sex Lies and Videotape, but first big role for Andie MacDowell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Making her. It was cringy.
Richard E. Grant.
Thank
That's
you,
the name,
Richard
yeah.
E. Grant. So Andie MacDowell having to make dolphin noises had to been the highlight of her career, and she probably hated that scene.
She might have loved it. Who knows? We don't know.
Dolphin noises?
We don't know what kind of sense of humor she has.
All right, we'll fight about that.
I've never met her.
I'm sure we all have our different panels to get to. I'm doing the
Yes, sir.
I'm doing
Thank you.
I'm doing 30 Years of the Crow in room 106 in 7 minutes.
Oh, that was fun. Thanks, you guys.
All right, thank you.
Can I hear a wahoo?
This podcast was made possible by the love and support of Dave and Cindy Stevens, Rory Stevens and Allison Higgins, Danny Daniels, and Stephanie Smith.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.